is the story of Sabrina Zunick. She gets fostered by this beautiful family that everyone just knew to be, I don't know, they kind of had a picture perfect life. So they are known as the Knafels. So we've got Kevin Knafel and then Lisa Knafel. They were both in their 40s. They already had a teenage daughter by the name of Megan, and they also had I believe a 3-year-old daughter together. A fateful day in 2012 in Ohio, Megan, she ends up calling the 911 dispatch number, and she's freaking out and she's screaming, and the dispatch officer can actually hear Megan screaming to someone in the room saying, "Please, no, stop, oh my god, no, you're gonna kill her." And she ran out of the house saying that her sister was killing her mom. Her mom is dying, her mom's getting sick. So they practically sent any officer who was in the available area that wasn't already working on a case straight to this address, and it was a suburban area. They rush to the scene, they find Megan outside, she's crying, she's hysterical, she can't control herself. So the police are like, we need to go in and see what's going on. Immediately when they walk into the house, they kind of have like a sense of like eeriness, like some shit's going down. They make it all the way upstairs, and so at this point, they see the master bedroom door open, and Sabrina Zunick, 18-year-old Sabrina Zunick, so she had just recently turned 18, she walks out with a bloody knife in her hand, and she drops the knife, and they arrest her. And what's even scarier is they found the 3-year-old daughter in the closet in the master bedroom. She was hiding. So she was physically unharmed, but people didn't know how much of this she actually witnessed, how much of it she saw or heard. So that's really traumatizing. So why would an 18-year-old who, honestly, Lisa did everything to help Sabrina, why would she do this? Yeah. So the police straight up asked Sabrina, they're like, why did you murder your foster mom, Lisa? Like, what the fork's going on? And Sabrina absolutely refused to talk. She was like, I'm not telling you shit. Like, I don't remember anything. I don't remember anything. And they're like, what do you mean? And she's like, no, I remember I woke up in the middle of the night because I was having a raging headache, and I went into Lisa's room to get some like Advil, and that's all I remember. So, I mean, the police, their main thing was none of this is making sense. So they start investigating Lisa because in a lot of situations, I mean, you can, like, let's be honest, not all foster moms are amazing foster moms. Maybe there's maybe something weird is going on, so maybe this was a self-defense killing in the sense that maybe Sabrina was getting so abused that she was like, I just have to kill her. What if it was a situation like that? They look into Lisa, and she is honestly like an angel sent from heaven. Like, that's how everyone describes her. And on top of that, this was not her first time fostering. So she had actually fostered kids in the past before they got adopted, and they were all a lot younger, so they were maybe like 5 to 7 years old, and they were all like, they only had amazing things to say about Lisa. Lisa was like the one person, she was strict, there was some tough love involved, but she had like the, what do you call it, like the right head on your shoulders. Like, she knew what she was doing, she knew how to talk to these kids, and she was good. So the police are like, okay, so it's obviously not that Lisa is like a this kid. I mean, why else would she want to kill Lisa? So they start asking a lot of her friends at school, and a lot of them are saying, well, we just know that Lisa was too strict. Like, Sabrina would be really upset that Lisa would tell her that she has a curfew. Sabrina was heard a lot saying, oh, if I ever want anything, I just go to Kevin instead. So they're like, okay, well, let's look into Kevin. Like, maybe Kevin has an idea of what was going on inside that house. And when Kevin comes home, because like I said, he's a long distance truck driver, he wasn't home at the time of the murder. When he comes back home, the police notice something funky fresh. Is the fact that Kevin seems a lot more curious than he does, I don't know, depressed. He was like, what happened in the bedroom? Like, can I see? Like, what happened? And they even took him into the bedroom, and he was just like, oh wow, that is a lot of blood. And then he just like walked away. And on top of that, at the funeral of his wife who just got viciously murdered, he started asking all of his wife's friends and family to pray for Sabrina, because she's in jail right now, and like, she's still a kid. I mean, she was 18 at the time, but he was just like, we just need to keep her in our prayers as well. So people thought that was very, very odd, and they told the police about it. They were like, this dude's weird. And at this point, they even went on to, a lot of Lisa's friends said that Lisa had said, quote, Sabrina is trying to undermine my relationship with Kevin, end quote. And they would all say, well, she obviously liked Kevin more, he was way less strict. But you know, now that I think about it, I mean, it was kind of a weird relationship. What do you mean by that? Like, they would make like sexual jokes with each other, which I thought was just so creepy. Yeah, it was just really creepy. Like, I don't understand. What do you mean jokes? Yeah, like they would just like joke about really gross things, and I thought it was weird because it's like her foster dad, but I mean, I guess like she's old and they don't really know each other. I don't know.
Like what?
So the police are like, what the fork? So at this point, it's being insinuated that Sabrina was having an affair with Kevin. Now, I mean, police are like, first of all, we need proof of this. Like, this is not something that you can just say. Now, here's the crazy thing. A lot of people were like, well, Sabrina is 18. So even though if they were having an affair, she's 18, this is all her fault. Like, she did this on her own free will, right? But it doesn't work like that. So when you're under foster care, you actually, like, it's still statutory rape, even if you're 18. If you're legally under their care, especially in the foster system, because you can ask for extended care, which is what Sabrina did. So the minute that she turned 18, she actually applied to the courts to have extended stay with the Knafels. And the Knafels agreed, the court system agreed, so she was still a foster child in the system, which means that is statutory rape. So at this point, the police are trying to investigate if a crime had been committed, if maybe Kevin Knafel has a lot more to do with his wife's murder than people think initially. What made it even more suspicious to the police officers is the fact that Kevin Motherforking Knafel, he decided to call almost hours, like maybe 9 hours after his wife died, trying to investigate about her life insurance policy. So the police are like, okay, this is odd. So they keep trying to talk to Sabrina. She refuses to talk to anyone, and that's when one of her friends from school comes forward and says, hey, you guys need to check Facebook. So they're like, Facebook? And he's like, yeah. So one of Sabrina's friends, her name is Autumn, she posted this on Facebook, and it was talking about the murder that Sabrina had done, and she said things along the lines of like, I can't believe she did it. And so the police are like, okay, well, we need to talk to Autumn. She said that she and Kevin were like, they were like having an affair or something, and that he was going to divorce his wife, Lisa, for her, so she needed to get rid of Lisa. So that's where the police were like, that's still not enough evidence to implicate Kevin. And so they do some more digging. Finally, about 6 months after the murder happened, they get Sabrina to get an attorney. Now, Sabrina's attorney is trying to explain to Sabrina, you might get the death penalty, girl. Like, this is, like, we're not fucking around. Like, I know if you think that we're fucking around, like, we ain't. Like, we're not doing that right now, so you might die. Is this worth dying over? So if there's something you need to tell us, you need to tell us now. So she goes to the police and she finally has a change of heart. She's like, I will tell you everything. So she said that the first time her and Kevin did it was when she was 17 years old, a couple months into her being a foster child at the Knafels. Wow. She said it all happened because they were home alone, and she told Kevin that she wanted to be a massage therapist after she graduates high school. And this was a genuine thing that she wanted to do. She had told a lot of people about this too. She said, I want to be a massage therapist.
Oh my
and
God,
of course,
no.
What did Kevin Knafel say? Well, why don't you give me one? And so she started giving him a massage, and then she said it escalated, and that was the first time that they did. It was around that time when they started regularly doing things with each other that he kept talking about how Lisa would never let them be together. Lisa would take the kids away from him, and, you know, he just wished that we could run away together and we could raise the kids together. Oh, what? Yeah. And so she was like, yeah, we just really wanted custody of the kids. Like,
she said that too? Wow.
Like, just saying that they were trying to build a life together, but Lisa would never give custody of the kids, especially the 3-year-old, because they're both biological kid, Kevin and Lisa's, whereas Megan is just Lisa's. And so she would never give custody away from the 3-year-old. So we obviously needed to do something, and Lisa would just never, ever let me date Kevin. So he kept saying she's got a life
Lisa
insurance.
Knew?
Well, that's what Kevin was insinuating, that if he had divorced Lisa, like, there was no way she was just going to let them be happy together, you know?
Right.
And so that's when Kevin kept saying, we got to get rid of her. She has a life insurance policy. It's like $750,000. We could totally live the rest of our lives like kings. And she was like, yeah. And so he convinces her that one day when he is away on work, because they always accuse the husband, he's got to be away. He's got to have an airtight alibi. She is to go into Lisa's room, stab her while she's asleep in the middle of the night, like 1 in the morning, and then make it set up like a burglary. Like, take some valuables. I'm gonna come home. You're gonna wake up. Like, you're gonna act like you didn't even hear a thing. Like, you just slept through it. And hopefully the other girls will sleep through it. Like, Megan, the 13-year-old, will sleep through it. I will come home and I'll be like, oh my God, we've been burglarized. And then I'll call the police and I've got an alibi. No one's gonna suspect Megan or the young kid or you, our foster child. We just have to make it look like a burglary. Kevin told her, don't worry, if you ever get caught, just say you don't remember anything and you will go to a mental institution. They'll say it's because of your rough childhood being a foster kid, and then when you get out, I'll pick you up and we'll go start a life together. So that's why when she got caught, she dropped the knife, said, I don't remember, I just remember having a headache. I don't remember, I just remember having a headache. Wow. Until she was like, oh, I'm not getting sent to a mental institution. I might get the death penalty. Well, let me tell y'all something. Now, what makes it even harder for the police is the fact that this is a self-serving story. So it's a story that would put all of the blame on Kevin and take it away from Sabrina. So they have to really get their facts right. So that's when they send in Autumn, the other friend, the friend who wrote on Facebook of Sabrina. They send her in with a wire to go talk to Kevin. I don't even know how Autumn's parents agreed to this or how Autumn agreed to this, but they sent a wire in Autumn and they sent her in to talk to Kevin, and she pretty much was like, I know that you were having an affair with my best friend, like what the fork, dude. And he never denied it. He never was like, that's sick and nasty, I would never do that. That's against my morals, I would never do that. He never said any of that. He just was quiet. So the police, hearing all of this, they're like, this is enough. So they arrest him in 2013, which is 2 years later. So Sabrina has been sitting in jail during this time. So they finally arrest him in connection with the murder of his wife, Lisa Knaefel. So at this point, they still don't have evidence. They really don't have anything except for Sabrina. Like, Sabrina was going to be the star witness in the trial, and that's pretty much all that the prosecution had. So they put forth a trial. They had given Sabrina a very lenient sentence. So they said, Sabrina, if you plead guilty and you agree to cooperate with us on Kevin's trial, you will get life in prison with the possibility of parole in 30 years. So you'll be like 48 years old. I mean, if they let you out on parole. So she signed the deal and she started testifying against Kevin Knaefel. Now, the trial was very interesting. So during this entire trial, both sides were fighting like real dirty. It was a lot of low blows. So the prosecution, they obviously had Sabrina, who gave her testimony, and they also had phone records. So during the phone times, during the month before the murder, Sabrina and Kevin had texted and called each other over 2,000 times, whereas Lisa Knaefel, his wife, and Kevin Knaefel, the husband, they only texted and called each other 200 times. The FBI tried to retrieve the exact text messages, but they couldn't. So we didn't have the content of the text messages, we just knew the number, which that in itself is just really alarming. I mean, why would you be texting her 2,000 times? None of this is making sense. Now, the defense, on the other hand, they decided to play a different theory. So their entire defense was based on the fact that the relationship, the affair, never happened and Sabrina is delusional. So they actually were able to dig up records of Sabrina when she was young and she was diagnosed with bipolar disorder. It's all in her head. She's a deranged teenager. She comes from a troubled background. It's the drug usage, frontal lobe damage. She's got no brain cells. Like, that's what they were just insinuating. And the prosecution was telling the jury, I mean, think about it. Kevin has a motive, which is like $750,000, which is a motive that we've seen a lot in court, which is a motive that we've seen a lot everywhere, is someone kills someone for money, especially as big as amount as $750,000. Or he wants you to believe that this teenager is so crazy in love with this 40-year-old ugly dude that she came up with this crazy theory because she got daddy issues. What's even crazier is the fact that Sabrina was able to demonstrate to the jury that Kevin had taught her how to hold a knife for the best damage. So Sabrina was showing all of that to the jury. Sabrina also mentioned that Kevin kept saying that Lisa is worth more dead than she is alive because her insurance payout. So that is that's a phrase that will stick with the jury. So the jury convened and they deliberated and they found Kevin guilty on all 11 counts.
11 counts.
11 counts. He was sentenced to life in prison with the possibility of parole in like 40-something years. So if he does get out on parole, he'll be in his 80s. Jail!